Hi, welcome back to Adi Files. In this video, I'm going to talk about motivation letter. Well, some people might refer to them as statement of purpose, personal statement, or letter of motivation, and sometimes universities might actually ask for two different letters, but generally speaking, it's just one letter where you have to show your motivation that why you're applying for that study program. And this is one of the most important documents in your admission application. In this video, I'm going to talk about things you should keep in mind before you start writing a motivation letter and do's and don'ts of a motivation letter. Well, what should you keep in mind? You should check the requirements on university's website. Sometimes there are specific requirements, for example, regarding the length of the letter. Sometimes they say it should be 1 page long or 1,000 words. They might have a specific template to use. They might have a specific file format which you are supposed to send them. If there are no length requirements, generally speaking, 750 to 1000 words is good enough, or let's say 1 page to 1.5 page. Anything more than 1.5 page is a bit too long. So next we have do's and don'ts of a motivation letter. These are simply the things you should and you shouldn't do while writing your letter. So first we talk about the do's. So what should you include in your letter? Imagine yourself sitting in front of the admission committee and imagine they ask you some questions. Basically, there are just three questions. First one is why you, so why should they select you? The second one is why are you applying for this program, so why this program? And the third one is technically how do you relate to this program, let's say, or what are your future goals and how do they relate to this program? So to answer the first question, why you, I have seen most of the time students just talk about their academics. So they would talk about their projects, they would talk about their thesis and their work experience, and they would write a lot of details about all of these things, which is actually good. You should talk about your academics and work experience, but at the same time, do not forget to talk about your extracurricular activities. So let's say some hobbies, or you're a member of some societies, or you care for some social causes. You should also summarize these things in your letter because they also give the impression of you as a person to the admission committee, which is also very important. Next question, why this program? To answer this, instead of simply saying this is one of the best programs in the world, try to dig deeper, check their website, Wikipedia page, news about the university, and then see what makes them so special. It might be the case that their football team is really famous, or that city is really famous for something, or that country is really famous for something. So try to write not only about the program, but also about the university, about the city, about the country, and try to summarize all this information. And you can also say that how study abroad in general will help you grow yourself professionally as well as personally. Last question, how do you relate to this program, or what are your future goals and how are they relevant to this program? So you have to tell them that these are my future goals, this is what I want to do, and this is how this program is going to help me to achieve these goals. So you connect your future goals to this program, you show them that you're passionate about them because this program is going to help your future goals, Now I'm going to talk about don'ts of a motivation letter. So what you shouldn't do while writing your letter. The first thing is you should never copy paste your letter from somewhere. You have to be yourself, you have to be creative, only then you can give the best impression of yourself. Secondly, try to avoid grammatical and spelling mistakes. Check your motivation letter with some of your friends, with your professors, and make sure you get some feedback and there are no mistakes in it at all. And thirdly, your starting paragraph and your concluding paragraph, they are really important. I have read many times in letters people saying that I want to do this because everyone in my family has been doing this, or they would say I have been dreaming of becoming, I don't know, a neurosurgeon since I was a child or something. Thing is like, just imagine yourself that you're reading the letter. Will you really believe something like this? So instead of writing these things, try to be unique and try to summarize your life experiences to give the best impression about yourself, and make the starting really unique and special so that the person is really convinced to read the complete letter. The same goes with the concluding paragraph. You have to say, let's say, your future goals, you're passionate about them, and how they are related to this program, how this program is going to help you to follow your dreams. And did you know that you can also use your motivation letter to talk about your weaknesses? So let's say you didn't have good grades for one of the semesters during your bachelor's. You can actually use this letter to explain why that was the case. You can say that there was a family reason or whatsoever because of which you couldn't really achieve those good grades, and then you can show them that for all other semesters your grades have been really good, but in this semester, just because you were sick or something else, that's why your grades are not good for this semester. Should you just write one letter and apply it to all the universities you want to, or should you write a separate letter for each of these universities? Well, you should never write just one letter and apply it to all the universities, because you might be applying to slightly different programs and you want to show your relevant background to these programs, and you also want to write why you're applying to these programs, so it's never a good idea. Generally, there are two approaches to this. One of them is you can write a really long letter, and then for each university you can somehow make some changes and shorten it slightly, or you can just write a very short letter. You can write just, let's say, some keywords, and then based on these keywords you can expand your letter based on what university and what study program you're applying to. Sometimes you need a motivation letter to apply for admission to a particular program, and then you need another motivation letter for the scholarship application. Now the thing is, you should never use the same letter for both of these things, because when we talk about motivation letter for scholarship, we are looking at different things. We are trying to convince them that why you deserve the scholarship. So the thing is, you can talk about your financial situation here, but instead of complaining that you are from very humble background or those kind of things, you should actually try to say it in a positive way. So you can say that although I come from a humble background, I have been able to get some scholarships in my previous educational background, or you can say that I have been doing a part-time job in the previous semester, but this time I have more workload, so I wouldn't be able to do it. So you are saying the same thing, that you come from humble backgrounds and you need the scholarship, but at the same time you are trying to show them that you are putting your best to really pursue your education, and if there is a scholarship, this will greatly help you. So then you should talk about who you are, again the same things, your academics, your extracurricular activities, and then you should talk about why you deserve the scholarship, and you should briefly talk about the sponsor who is actually giving out this scholarship. You should appreciate them, that they're doing something really good by giving this scholarship, and how you would be the best fit, how you will benefit from this scholarship. Again, you can talk about your future goals, you can show your passion for your goals, and then you can say that this scholarship will really help me to do this study program, which will help me then to follow my dreams. I hope I was able to give you a good overview on how to write a good motivation letter, a motivation letter that makes your application stand out. For further information on admission documents, visit the website adifiles.com and keep watching videos from Adifile for information related to study abroad.